Queen Anne, born Anne Stuart on February 6, 1665, at St. James's Palace in London, was the last monarch of the Stuart dynasty. She reigned as Queen of England, Scotland, and Ireland from 1702 until her death in 1714. Anne's reign was significant for many reasons, as it marked the end of the Stuart era and the beginning of a new era in British history, including the union of England and Scotland to form Great Britain. Early life and family. Anne was the second daughter of James, Duke of York, and his first wife, Anne Hyde. Her father, later King James II of England, was a Catholic, which played a pivotal role in Anne's life and her future reign. Anne's early years were marked by instability, with political tensions surrounding her father's Catholicism and the monarchy. When Anne was just 2 years old, her father ascended to the throne as King James II in 1685. The relationship between Anne and her father was strained. While Anne's father was a devout Catholic, Anne remained a Protestant throughout her life, which set her apart from him in terms of religious beliefs. During the Glorious Revolution of 1688, when James II was overthrown, Anne's political alignment shifted. She sided with the Protestant cause, and her brother-in-law, William of Orange, succeeded James II. Following the revolution, Anne's relationship with her father became more distant, and her own political future began to take shape. Marriage to Prince George of Denmark. In 1683, at the age of 18, Anne married Prince George of Denmark, a union arranged by her family. George was the younger brother of the King of Denmark and Norway, but their marriage was more about political alliances than romantic love. Although Anne's marriage to George was not based on passion, the couple developed a strong and enduring partnership, and Anne relied on him for support throughout her life. The couple had many children, but most of them tragically died in infancy or early childhood. The loss of her children was a significant emotional burden for Anne, and her inability to produce a surviving heir contributed to the tension in her personal life. Despite their many losses, Anne and George remained close, and he supported her throughout her reign. He was created Prince Consort, and even after his death in 1708, Anne mourned his passing deeply. Accession to the throne. Anne's path to the throne was not straightforward. After the death of her father, James II, in 1701, Anne became the heir presumptive to the throne. However, the Act of Settlement 1701 had established that only Protestants could inherit the throne, excluding any Catholic heirs. As a result, Anne ascended to the throne as Queen Anne on March 8, 1702, after the death of her brother-in-law, King William III. Upon Anne's ascension, England was embroiled in political turmoil, particularly with the ongoing War of the Spanish Succession. The war was largely a conflict between European powers over who should succeed to the Spanish throne after the death of Charles II of Spain. Anne's reign was marked by this conflict, and Britain fought alongside a coalition of European powers, ultimately achieving military successes. Anne's government, particularly under the leadership of Robert Harley and others in her administration, was able to steer Britain through the complex challenges of the war. Reign and politics. One of Anne's major political achievements was her role in the unification of England and Scotland. The Act of Union 1707, which came into effect during her reign, created the Kingdom of Great Britain by uniting the two countries under one government. The union was a significant moment in British history, and Anne played a crucial role in securing the passage of the Act, although her personal involvement in the process was limited due to her health and political advisors. Anne's reign also witnessed significant changes in the British political landscape. The Whigs and Tories were the two dominant political parties during her time, and Anne often struggled with the factionalism within her court. Although she was personally aligned with the Tories, her reign was marked by political infighting, particularly between Whig and Tory factions. Despite the turmoil, Anne managed to maintain a sense of stability and order, aided by her political advisors, though the factional divisions ultimately had an impact on the later years of her reign. Personal struggles and legacy. Anne's health was a constant concern throughout her life. She suffered from various ailments, including gout, obesity, and frequent miscarriages. The loss of her many children, including several stillborns, was a personal tragedy that affected her deeply. This lack of heirs meant that after her death, the throne would pass to the House of Hanover, marking the end of the Stuart line. Anne's reign was also marked by significant religious and political change. As a devout Anglican, she was committed to the Protestant Church of England, and her religious views were often at the forefront of her political decisions. Her death in 1714, after a prolonged period of ill health, marked the end of the Stuart dynasty. Anne's passing ushered in the reign of George I of the House of Hanover, a Protestant prince, as stipulated by the Act of Settlement. Conclusion. Queen Anne's reign was pivotal in the shaping of modern Britain. While her personal life was marked by tragedy and her reign saw political instability, Anne's legacy includes the formation of Great Britain and the establishment of the modern constitutional monarchy. Though she did not live to see her descendants on the throne, Anne's role in British history remains significant, both for her leadership and for the changes she oversaw during her reign.